Welcome to the Youth of the Mission News Show for March of 2025. This month, we'll hear about the attacks on Christians in Syria, find out about YWAM's ministry in Jakarta, hear about YWAM's ministry in Jakarta, I already said that one. We'll also hear some testimonies from Cambodia, see how we can support YWAM Belgium after a building fire, see how YWAM is ministering in and with Catholic groups, catch up on St Vincent and the Grenadine's recovery after their location was destroyed by Hurricane Beryl. We'll also see some ways that sports are used for ministry, check out some short-term volunteer opportunities, and more. So thank you for downloading this, the 155th episode of the Youth of the Mission News Show podcast. I'm your host, Bill Hutchison. You can contact us, subscribe to future episodes, leave comments, and find links to all the stories that we'll talk about in the show notes for this podcast at ywampodcast.com/155. Now, we've received numerous updates from Syria after the overthrow of Bashar al-Assad and the replacement by an Islamist regime led by the former terrorist leader Ahmed al-Sharaa. Members of Syria's small Christian community on the coast are living in fear after attacks killed more than 1,000 mostly Alawite civilians, with many Christians reportedly caught up in the violence. The number of deaths reported makes the 2 days of violence some of the most deadliest since Syria's conflict began 14 years ago. Many Christians have been killed in the violence. Minority groups like Christians have been targeted, and we pray for their safety and stand with all Christians who are vulnerable to persecution. The new Syrian army burned a house church in the city of Aleppo. Christian friends from Syria reached out today for prayers and help. The family, father and 3 children, are now homeless. The mother died a couple months ago. The Syrian army shot the father for distributing Kurdish Bibles, and one of our team are trying to get him urgent medical care and relocate also the family to another city. We really do need to be praying continuously for the people in Syria so that there would be peace. Now, I thought we could also take this opportunity to take a look at YWAM Jakarta in Indonesia and what ministries they're involved in.
Hello, welcome to our base, YWAM Gateway Jakarta. In this base, we have a lot of training, Bible purpose, discipleship training school, and school of coordination.
About these children, let me tell you that these kids came from a very poor family. There are some of the kids that came from broken homes, came from the parents that doesn't have any job. That YWAM has been working together with Vineyard Ministry to help these children. And how we usually do that is usually like we will send our team, either it's a local team or an international team which come from other countries. And they will usually like playing together with these kids or just performing drama and how they can live according to what Christ has teaching us.
Hi, my name is Jeffrey. I'm from Imago Dei Ministry. So after finish my commitment with YWAM, so I come back to Jakarta and running this ministry. We reach out the transgender and then share the gospel to them and demonstrate God's love to them and help them to go out from the struggle.
Right now we are in Tambun. It's a little bit outside Jakarta, it's West Java province. And behind this train station, there are so many transgenders who live here. We are from Imago Dei Ministry and we're together with YWAM. From their story, we know that they have been going through a lot of bad things in their life. They are rejected by their family, lost their identity. We just want to share that God loves them and God wants to give them what He has prepared for them. the eternal life, the abundant life if they come to Jesus.
We from YWAM Gateway Jakarta, as a part of our vision to share God's love to everyone despite of their religion or their background, we also help refugees from Afghanistan and Pakistan. We know that they doesn't know God, even though they have no place in their country anymore, but we telling them that they're still worthy enough and they still valuable that to be in God's heart, because God still cares for them. So the elders ministry, this is part of YWAM Gateway Jakarta to help the elders people living with God. And so like that's why we giving them through Bible study and also to counseling, and we also help them to figure out how they can still able to max out their talents, because these people, even though they already old, they still want to stay productive. And also because these people came from poor family, we help them to really manage their talents so they can use that to also blessing other people. This school is actually a more formal school. It was built by people who have heart to reach the poor children so they can have a high quality educations. And YWAM also involved in this through giving them more moral support and also teaching them about English and also about God's value and everything. And also we also entertain them and telling them that they are valuable, even though they maybe the world say that they are nothing.
Bible Core Course or BCC is 3-month school. This school is helping the student to study the Bible, and they will read all the books Genesis to Revelation in 3 months, and also they will study Bible inductively, observation, interpretation, application, and proclamation.
YWAM has done a lot of good things in Jakarta, but we still have much more to do. YWAM has big dreams, which is become gateways for international parties to come and bless the city, and also for us, Indonesia, become blessings for other nations. We would love to invite you to come and join us to be part of these great missions.
So you can actually find out more about their work by visiting their website at ywamjakarta.weebly.com. Now, a team from YWAM Montana was recently in Cambodia, and they have some really amazing testimonies that I wanted to share with you today.
Who believes God is a miracle worker? Who believes that? Come on! He opened so many people's hearts to the gospel for the first time. Like, some people have never heard of the gospel before. We were at an orphanage and we got the opportunity to baptize 15 orphans. Yeah. It was just so cool that there is so many more testimonies that we have from Cambodia, but God is moving in Cambodia. Do you guys?
We got to be a part of an event called Love Battambang. I believe it was the biggest Christian event ever held in Cambodia. So many people gave their lives to Jesus. There were healings, there were deliverances. It was incredible. And we were walking around the crowd, and out of the corner of my eye, the Lord highlights this guy to me, and he's in a wheelchair. He had been paralyzed for 7 years. A team from the YWAM base had actually come and shared the gospel with him in his village 1 year prior to me meeting him. He gave his life to Christ, and they baptized him. I got to pray for him, and after I was done, I felt like the Lord told me that I was going to see this man healed. Even though after I had prayed, I didn't see that healing, I still had faith, and I knew that the Lord was going to see it through. So the next night, I'm sitting in the back of this field, and there's a time of testimonies being shared on the stage. And all of a sudden, my attention gets pulled toward the stage, and walking up the steps, I see Bond walking out of his wheelchair. Yeah. I remember him coming up to the front of the stage, grabbing the mic, and telling his testimony. And then I remember him raising his hand, and he had the biggest smile on his face. And in that moment, I was just filled with so much joy. So I waited till he went down. He went back, and he sat in his wheelchair. And I walked over to him, and when he saw my face, he had the biggest smile, and he got right up out of his wheelchair, and he gave me a hug.
So that is one of a few stories from the outreach that they had. And if you head over to ywmontana.org, you can find out more. All right, now this one actually isn't in the show notes, so if you check it out, you won't see that. But with just seeing the testimony of what happened there in in Cambodia, just reminded me that right now we really need to be praying for Myanmar and for Thailand and the earthquake that happened there. There was thousands of deaths from it. And there's concern that the current dictatorship that's happening in Myanmar might actually impact our ability or the ability for aid to come to the people that need it. So if you can, just take some time and pray for the people in Myanmar, that they would recover well, and that people would gather together, and that maybe even through it they could find Christ. But that people who were impacted by the Myanmar earthquake would find solace, and that they would find peace in God, and that they would find the support that they need to recover from it. And also those in Thailand, I know there's still up to, I think, 100 construction workers missing because they were in some of those buildings that collapsed. It'd be good for us to pray for them as well, and that, you know, we would see recovery come to those places. Now we have actually received this update from YWAM Belgium. It was emailed to some of the team on our global communications team. So on the 6th of December, a fire broke out in our building in Brussels. We're lucky to say that nobody was injured and that there's only damage to the building. The kitchen fire happened in the top apartment under the roof. The damage is substantial, but not impossible to repair. Our fire insurance was in order, so they will be reimbursed. They will reimburse a major part of the repairs that needs to be done, but not all, of course. The 2 weeks after the fire, we have had to pay about 12,000 euros to get the heating and electricity restored and inspected so that the bookshop, staff, and renters could return to their homes. This is money that came from our account, and the insurance is not covering this. We had savings, but those have now been depleted. Before this incident, the base's finances were stable and were able to keep up with the normal running and maintenance costs. Now, with the attic apartment entry, we realized that the last renovation was done over 30 years ago. In addition to replacing the burnt kitchen, we need to do some upgrades to the building, like insulation in the roof, a safer fire escape ladder, and we would like to put solar panels on the roof to bring our costs down. We want to ask you to consider donating. It would cost about 9,000 euros to do part of the upgrades, including the solar panels, and this would mean that their bookshop, a tremendous savings. This would mean our bookshop a tremendous saving in running costs. Message Media has been running in this year for 40 years and has had an incredible impact on the local community and the church in the community in Belgium. This is a place for Christians to meet, be prayed for, and find books that they can't find in other places. We sell Dutch, French, and English, and we sell Bibles on a daily basis. We've estimated that costs for the solar panels would be recuperated by savings in our electricity bill in only 4 years, and the lower electricity bills would continue to be a blessing for our ministry long term. You can find out more about YWAM Belgium, their ministry, and how to donate to the repairs at ywam.be. Now, the YWAM School of Worship team from YWAM Furnace in New Zealand was recently in Japan. Now, here are some testimonies from that outreach.
My name is Declan and I'm from Australia.
What's up, guys? My name is Kim and I'm also from Australia. We are doing a School of Worship with YWAM Furnace and have been sent out to the beautiful nation of Japan.
Yes, sir. And one of the verses that has been spoken over us as a school is Revelation chapter 7, verse 9. And it talks about people from every nation, every tribe, and every tongue worshiping the Lord God in spirit and in truth. And this includes in their mother tongue. And this also includes the people of Japan. Yes, sir. So, our vision as a school is to raise up Japanese worship leaders and intercessors for the Lord God Almighty.
And so we just want to share some of the testimonies that we've had since coming here in Japan. So stay tuned, and yeah.
And I wanna follow with all my heart.
What's up, guys? It's Ali'i and reporting to you from Tokyo, Japan. So I actually really wanted to share about an encounter that we had, and it was in Shinjuku Park. So I was prompted and I felt from the Holy Spirit to actually sing a Te Reo Maori song, and we sang it to a person who wanted to listen to it, and he said that he felt the love. He's never heard of Te Reo Maori, and then from Te Reo Maori we sang Hutia, the Te Reo Maori song, and he never heard the gospel. We preached the gospel. He heard the gospel for the first time, and he said that he felt love enter his heart. So guys, keep praying, keep pushing. Japan is so ripe, and I am a firm believer that more Maori missionaries should be sent here.
So I'm going to give you guys a quick testimony on what's been going on here in Japan. So being in Japan, we've actually run into so many different international churches, which is just really, really cool. And so just the other day, we were at an international church for a Christmas Eve service, or Christmas Day service. And while we were there, we got the chance to play a couple songs and also got to listen to a message by one of the pastors, kind of showing the Chinese people where he is already in their language. And little did we know that actually about half the people, about the 40 or 50 people in the room had never heard about Jesus or had never encountered Jesus. So we got to be in the room for 25 people encountering the gospel for the first time. It's just super encouraging to know that even in Japan, that places like China and other closed countries are being reached. So yeah, it's just super cool to be a part of God's plan.
You're welcome in this place. You're welcome in this place. Sing, have your way, have your way.
Hey guys, I'm Laura, and I just wanted to share briefly a story that happened. We were holding up our free hug sign in the park, and one guy came up for a hug and it started a really great conversation. Anne and I ended up talking to him for about 20 to 30 minutes at least. He knew vaguely about Jesus, but we were able to share with him in greater detail about the gospel in full and tell him what it means to actually follow Jesus, and he was so happy to learn these things. We got to pray for him as well a few times throughout the conversation, which was so encouraging for us, as it was one of our first days of ministry in Tokyo, so it was such a huge boost of morale for the team as well.
So you can go ahead and visit ymfurnace.nz to find out more about the YWAM School of Worship and other schools and ministries that are run by YWAM Furnace. Now, for over 30 years, Youth with a Mission has been ministering in and with Catholic groups through the Kerygma network. Bruce Klewitt is one of the pioneers of the network and the European Network of Communities, and has been praying and working for spiritual renewal within Catholic groups. This led Bruce to be a conduit to and from the evangelical and charismatic worlds with Cardinal Christoph Schonborn in Austria. Bruce has also helped many from his own evangelical background recognize the work of the Holy Spirit among Catholics. The relationship with Bruce and Cardinal Christoph Schonborn led to the YWAM Discipleship Training School being adapted, which resulted in Follow Me, which is a training course for Catholic young people now operating in 5 continents and several European countries, including Austria, Germany, the Netherlands, Spain, and Italy. Follow Me is a training program designed to assist young Catholics 16 years and older to discover God's call in their life, to help them grow in their relationship with Jesus, to equip them with practical tools to aid them in their service as missionary disciples in today's world. You can read more about this unique partnership with an article written by Jeff Fountain over at weeklyworld.eu. Now we'll actually take a tour now at the YWAM Koha, which is getting ready for deployment to Fiji.
Hey guys, greetings from the YWAM Koha. As you know, we're in the last weeks of preparing to deploy. We need your help. But we thought today, instead of just telling you what our needs are, we want to take you on a tour of the ship to show you our needs. Come with me. We are getting ready to go. As you can see behind me, our team's getting ready. All these cupboards and around the corner here are going to be full with all the anesthetics and the various things that the dentists will need to deliver the services in Fiji so we can actually restore teeth. We don't want to just take teeth out. We want to restore them and give people back the beauty of their smile. If you've seen Fijians, the one thing that we're always marked by with Fiji is the smile of the people. So much of what we do through the ship is we give them back the beauty of their smile through fixing their teeth and helping them be pain-free so they can smile and enjoy their life again. Behind me is the graphic our engineers use to monitor the fuel levels in our ship. What you'll see, if you can see it, right here, empty. We're about half full right now. Before we deploy at the end of April, we need to put 50,000 litres of fuel in the ship. And as we go out to the Pacific for nearly 7 months this year, we will use well over 100,000 litres of fuel, maybe more than that. In the coming days, as we prepare to deploy at the end of April, this is going to be full of sugar and flour and oats and jam and canned fruit and everything you can imagine. These buckets are going to be full. Our freezer that's behind us is going to be full. We're going to stock the old girl up for the next 6 to 7 months so that we can feed the people that are coming, the volunteer crew that are going to provide the hope and healing services in the Pacific. We wanted to show you in this area, this is a critical part as we prepare to deploy, that the engine room, the control room and the generator room, we have our critical spares on board, all the spare engine oil we need, everything we need for the next 7 months of deployment. A lot of what we're raising money for and asking you to partner with actually serves this most critical area of the ship. We call this the heart of the ship. If the heart of the ship is good, the rest of the ship is good. As you're partnering with us financially in this season, you're helping make sure this most critical part of the YWAM Koha has what it needs so we can empower health in the Pacific. Thank you for coming for this tour on the Koha. I hope that was helpful so you could actually see what the needs are and where things are going. We are so grateful. Over the last 3 years, we've served well over 12,000 people now through the various services and ministries of YWAM ships here in New Zealand. Let's go again. Let's do more. Let's help our friends in the Pacific. God bless you. Thank you for giving. Thank you for being part of the journey. We'll talk soon.
So yeah, if you head over to ywamshipsaotearoa.org.nz, you can find out more about the work. And if you don't know how to spell that, which I honestly wouldn't either, head over to ywampodcast.com/155 to find out more. Back in September on episode 148 of the YWAM News Show, we shared about the destruction of YWAM location in St Vincent and the Grenadines by Hurricane Beryl. Since then, they've received a lot of support in the rebuild, and we have this update from their locations. 9 months, 12 teams, and 143 people. Hurricane Beryl on July 1st, the day that sent our world into what has felt like unending chaos, feels like a lifetime ago. We've been blown away by the response of those who wanted to come and help YWAM SVG and the community of Mero, our family, friends, churches, and so many people who have never even met us. Both of our churches sent teams filled with friends, folks from our missionary support team, and family. Our family has felt so loved through the actions of all 143 people who came on a team in these past 9 months. This isn't even counting the other volunteers we didn't personally bring to Mero, but who came wanting to partner with us. Not to mention the prayers, messages, phone calls, emails, donations, finances, and support from countless others. We are so thankful. We have been so blessed. The Lord has done beautiful things in the hearts of so many of these folks. He has met us all here in Mero in a new way in this rebuilding and relief season. While we are so grateful, we are also thankful. These 9 months have come to an end. We are exhausted. We need to process. We need to breathe. We need to spend time together as a family. We desire to get our personal home back together. Please keep us in your prayers as we now take some time to rest and do these things mentioned above. The Lord is good in all things. The glory is His. Now you can continue to follow the rebuilding effort on their website, which is ywamsvg.org. And if you've seen the photos, either in the show notes, on their webpage, or in the video, you can see just the level of destruction that happened 9 months ago. And if you head over to their site, you can actually see some of the repairs that they've done. So again, that's ywamsvg.org. Now, sports outreach has been a major part of Youth of the Mission almost since the beginning. This has included World Cup outreaches, Olympic outreaches, and more. Now, here are 2 different ways that YWAM is currently using sport and fitness to outreach in Asia.
Share the gospel in the unreached country of Thailand here in the city of Trang. We're here at the Sanam Gila right now, the stadium. One of my favorite places in Trang. Made so many relationships here through basketball. Really nothing like this place in the States. It's right outside of these doors right here. There's probably 500 to 700 people playing soccer, tennis, just running or walking or swimming. It's really a place that God has just made special in my heart, made, again, so much awesome relationships. So yeah, come here to share the gospel, love the Thai people, and as well posting sports.
All right, so that was Try Thailand, where their sports ministry helps to create opportunities to share God's love with those who've never heard it before. You can visit ywamtraining.org to find out more. Now, meanwhile, fitness activities are also being used to help with outreach in the Himalayas.
In the Himalayas, there's, hundreds of villages just spread throughout the mountains that have never heard about Jesus simply because they're hard to get to.
Yeah.
People don't know, it costs something to trek that far, to train, to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And that's just where my heart is where like, man, I want to use my passion for fitness to be healthy, to reach people, to go and be able to trek those miles, to be able to handle that elevation so that I can get to the village and tell them about Jesus.
Yeah.
Now, I think that's something that is often overlooked by us in missions, that if we want to go to all the places, we also need to be taking care of ourselves so we can do it. So yeah, you can actually find links and find out more about their ministry and how they use CrossFit to get themselves ready to go and outreach into those remote locations through the show notes at ywampodcast.com/155. Now, we're actually going to highlight a few different short-term volunteer outreaches that are happening this year around YWAM. Now, YWAM Resten in Sweden loves to welcome volunteers to one of the largest YWAM campuses in Europa, where young people come to plug into their community's live-play training model to grow and prepare to go into all the world. They're restarting the location and their ministry after a period of standing still. The team is planning for a DTS at the beginning of 2026 and for camps, seminars, and conferences throughout the year. After 45 years of training and sending, this team of missionaries has initiated an inside-outside campus makeover to prepare for the many years of service ahead for them. They have over 30 different projects and tasks identified for the coming months. Of course, there's plenty to do year-round. Outdoors is raking leaves, cleaning along roads, moving garden furniture, cutting and splitting firewood, pruning trees, tidying gardens, roof repair. Indoors, they're looking at replacing windows, doors, and locks, painting, creating a kitchen area, upgrading apartments and rooms. Now, there'll be plenty to do for incoming volunteers. They also say regardless of your skill set, whether you're a cook, musician, barista, designer, farmer, photographer, dance athlete, or artist, let us know where you wish to help. Other needs include cooking, housekeeping, hospitality, electrical, grounds maintenance, plumbing, and more. Now you can visit their website at ywamresonance.se to find out more and sign up, or you can email them at bo@rudolfson.se. It'd be good to volunteer and to see what we can do to help them restart this location. Now, if you haven't had a chance to check it out, you can also see a photo of the location and some of the work that they have to do at their website. Again, it's ywamresonance.se. Now, here's another great opportunity for you to work alongside a great team of YWAMers at a long-time mission location, YWAM Salem in Oregon. This West Coast training and sending location has also pioneered new ministries and campuses all over the world. All this while also evangelizing to their own city and operating refugee and international student ministries. Your volunteer help would be welcome in all of their logistic areas, from maintenance to carpentry and hospitality to cooking. There's also expanding their campus, so mission builders with specialized skills would be a bonus. You can visit ywamsalem.org to find out more. Now, Eagle's Nest Ranch in Alberta, Canada is looking for summer camp volunteers. This summer, Eagle Nest Ranch are hosting 4 weeks for fun-filled camps. Preference will be given to those able to commit to the entire camp season of July 8th to August 9th of 2025. But also, if you're only available to come to 1 to 2 weeks, that's okay too. The weekly schedule will start on Sundays at 2 and then Fridays at 2, giving 48 hours off over each weekend to refresh and come back ready to tackle another week. So you can visit eaglesnestranch.ca to find out more. Now, the Business Mission Global Summit will be happening online on the 8th of May 2025. The BAM Global Summit 2025 theme, Together Towards Tomorrow, reflects the desire to be deeply rooted as they reach for the future, building from generation to generation. The past 25 years of Business Mission has provided strong foundations, but how do they build and innovate for greater impact? They want more Business Mission companies and a growing global BAM movement for holistic and lasting transformation to God's glory. Together Towards Tomorrow is a gathering of the global BAM network to hear from God and learn from each other. Together they can shape the BAM movement of tomorrow. Tickets and more information can be found at bamglobal.org/summit. Now, missions needs strong storytelling to mobilize people, raise support, and engage culture. Without it, the message can get lost. You can join the Creative Storytellers Conference in Manila, the Philippines on April the 14th to 18th for the Creative Storytellers Conference hosted by YWAM Mandaluyong. At this conference, you'll discover how to use use storytelling as a strategy for missions, build a biblical foundation for creativity, bring stories to life from concept to screen, be commissioned to shape media, culture, and missions. Now, this isn't just for media teams. It's for YWAM leaders, missionaries, and anyone who wants to grow as a storyteller. If you share stories, lead teams, or engage with culture, this is for you. Don't just attend the event. You can be part of a movement. You can register now in a link that's in the show notes at ywampodcast.com/155. Now, YWAM Frontier Missions is offering an online course about getting started in disciple-making movement.
Hi, I'm C. Anderson, and I'm excited to tell you about a new course I've created called Getting Started in Disciple-Making Movements. Even if you're busy, can't speak the language well, and have no money. A lot of people around the world are seeing disciple-making movements take place. Multiplication of disciples who make more disciples. Groups that start new groups that start more groups of disciples that bring transformation to whole regions. It's exciting, but a lot of people don't know how to get started. So that's why I created this course, because many years ago when I first started in church planning, I didn't really know how to take those steps either. And I wanted to help guide people through the process, to make it easy for them to go all the way from starting with their vision. What is it that God is saying? What do you have to do next? How to develop your prayer plan? How to start doing abundant seed sowing and sharing the gospel in amazing ways throughout your region, mobilizing others to do that as well. How to find the key persons of peace and local partners to work with you. And then how do you start those first disciple-making groups? How do you set them up in such a way that they will be poised to multiply. I know that as you go through this course, God is going to show you exactly what to do, and we'll be there to guide you, together with coaches and a WhatsApp group or chat group to help you along the way. If you're excited about disciple-making movements and you want to see them start, or maybe you're just beginning to think about it, wherever you're at in that process, this course is going to take you step by step through the foundational things you need to do to set up those groups so that they will multiply. I'm excited to have you join me in this course. We've got some awesome coaches who are going to walk alongside with you. If you want to learn more about what's available in this course, go to the link that's provided. There's lots of information about each and every video and module that'll be there, what other kinds of resources we also provide with it.
Hi, I'm Kevin Sutter, the International Leader of YWAM Frontier Missions. We're committed to reaching unreached peoples and starting disciple-making movements among them. Do you have the same commitment? Do you want to start disciple-making movements? If you do, this course is for you.
Click the link below to find out more or sign up. I'll see you there.
So you can find that link by heading over to ywampodcast.com/155. You can also visit ywamfm.org so that you can find out more. Now, the Game Development Foundation Seminar, or GDFS, is a 5-week seminar designed to equip Christians with the language and foundational understanding of game development and to be able to engage in that field in a holistic and biblical way. Each week of the seminar will cover a different topic in addition to other activities and assignments. The lessons are pre-recorded videos and can be done at your own pace during each week. These are the topics that we'll be going over. The theology of fun, unpacking what the Bible may have to say on the subject, as well as learning more about what fun is and how we experience it. Also, second week, game design basics. You'll be introduced to some of the key components of what makes a quality game. Another week is Love as the Foundation. Together we'll explore how games can be used to love others and even reach the unreached. Another week will be Ethical AI Usage. Here we'll be wrestling with some of the very challenging questions and try to figure out if there are ways we can use AI ethically to further God's kingdom. And also Skills and Tools. In his final week, we'll provide a high-level overview of what it takes to make a game. We'll talk about common tools, managing a project, launching, and marketing. Participants will also read through a book on Christian approach to video games. It'll answer questions about it. Every week, there will also be a different video game for participants to play, analyze, and discuss how it relates to the rest of the week's content. Finally, at the end of each week, we'll meet together in our community Discord server to hear a few words from someone with experience in the week's topic, have a question and answer time, and also process the week's learnings. The expected time commitment is around 5 hours per week, though this could vary, and since this is a very new course, will need to be adjusted. The end result will be 1 credit or 25 hours in the University of the Nations. You can find out how to register, so you can register, just by following the link in the show notes at ywampodcast.com/155. Now in September, YWAM Harpenden is running the very first Neighbors and Nations School of Mobilization.
Over the last couple of years, we set out as a team with a vision to go after revival and see God awaken a generation in our nation. And we've been blown away seeing what God has done as we've gathered with thousands on tours and held arena events for the Send. We've seen young people being saved, healed, set free, and commissioned as bold witnesses. And we believe the time is now for God to be doing the same across Europe. We feel a conviction that God is wanting to raise young apostolic leaders that will live all in, that will go after revival, and will catalyze mission movements wherever they go.
So that's why we are starting the Neighbors and Nations School of Mobilization. But this isn't your average training school. This is going to be an immersive experience, which enables you to tour the UK with Neighbors and Nations, mobilize for the Send, and work on a pioneering project in Europe, all while simultaneously receiving classroom teaching, growing your skill sets, and participating in rhythms of prayer and worship. So if you've completed a DTS and you're burning for youth movement and missions mobilization, and you want to be equipped further to see that wherever you go, then this school is for you.
We want to invite you. Come for 3 months, September 2025 at YWAM Harpenden, and join us. You can find more info on the website and register interest now.
So you can head on over to ywamharpenden.org to find out more about the course that begins on the 17th of September in Harpenden, UK. All right, this is another one that actually isn't in our show notes, so you don't find it on the website. But I just received on Friday a message from some of our team in Juba in South Sudan. So they're requesting prayer because their nation is going through an awful lot at the moment that I haven't seen on the mainstream media, but it's something we should be praying about. So this is the message that I got. Greetings for YWAM Juba, South Sudan. We are reaching out to you with a heartfelt prayer request for our beloved country, South Sudan. Over the past 2 months, the nation has been facing significant political challenges. Just yesterday, around 9 o'clock p.m., the vice president was arrested at his home, causing widespread fear among the citizens. Many are now deeply concerned that the country will fall back into conflict. Despite these challenges, we want to assure you that all of our YWAM Juba staff are safe. This afternoon, we were able to gather an intercession lifting up South Sudan before the Lord. Now, more than ever, we need your prayer and support. Please stand with us in prayer for peace, wisdom for the leaders, and protection for the people of South Sudan. We trust that God is in control and that He will bring healing and restoration to our nation. Thank you for standing with us in this critical time. Please feel free to share this, which is what I'm doing now. So South Sudan, they do have some stuff on their website, on their Facebook page, so you can probably find them there. But it's just worth praying for them and praying for peace to be on that nation. Sudan is also going through a lot with their civil war. I think like over 200,000 killed in the last few years, which is insane, especially considering how much we haven't heard about it. I could also have those numbers wrong. It could be 200,000 displaced. Sorry if I got that wrong, but we need to be praying for Sudan and also for South Sudan with these new things that have occurred there. The YWAM Ascension has been putting out monthly messages on their YouTube channel, including this about why evangelism requires words.
Anyone in the Bible that gets saved without being spoken to, right? How will they know without a messenger? Yes. Jesus said, go preach. Yeah. Right? So you can live a perfect life, but that's not going to bring anyone to the Lord.
How do you think a person that has never preached the gospel, has never done evangelism, can go to a person that it's like normal day-to-day life for them preaching the gospel?
So evangelism really is that. As a person, through words and action, representing God and how good He is. Yeah. And in sharing the good news that there's a way for them, right, to be saved, to be transformed, to live a life that is worthy of what Jesus did for us.
So the full interview can be found at their YouTube channel. And it's also embedded on the show notes at ywampodcast.com/155. So you can check it out there and see the full message, which is quite impactful, really good. It'll be worth listening to. So thank you so much for downloading, listening, or watching this, the 155th episode of the Youth with a Mission News Show. I'm glad to share it with you. Love to hear your feedback. Email me, tell me what's happening. You can email me at bill@ywampodcast.com so we can maybe add your story about what God is doing at your location to the next news that we'll be putting together for next month. So you can also subscribe over at ywampodcast.com/subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. And if you subscribe to the show notes, you'll get every single one of these stories as well as links to all the videos. And if you head over again to ywampodcast.com/155, you can leave your comments there. And you can also watch all the videos, find links to all the stories and locations that we've talked about. So thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to hearing back from you. If you like the program, tell a friend. If you didn't like it, maybe you can tell a friend anyways. Maybe they will. If you are on YouTube, I know it's cheesy, but please hit like, subscribe, and comment. So thank you very much. And I really do look forward to sharing with you again next month about what God is doing in Youth of the Mission around the world.